So I've had a lot of people asking me this recently. How do I get on top of launch with a helicopter and loot the elite crates? See, because a lot of people don't actually know about this, and I'm pretty sure I'm the only one that's made a video on it so far, so I'm going to go ahead and show you my strategy for doing it before I show you the actual gameplay, and then I'm going to give you a few quick tips on how to make sure that you're doing it correctly, and I'm going to send you on your way. Hopefully this video will be less than 5 minutes. This is a rough outline of launch site. Now I know it's a terrible quality, but this is all I could really manage by like taking a screenshot in Game of Canada 1. But so here's how it works. Now this is the main building and the recycler building and all this, blah blah blah. There is an air defense turret on each corner of the main building. There's one right outside the back of the main building. There's one on top of this the warehouse next to that tower. There's one on the old Elite Crate building, otherwise known as the lab, and there's one on the post office. Now you see, this one right here is important, because this one you can't actually get to. Near can you get to these four, but this one you'd have to heli to get up to, and obviously since it's an AA turn, you can see why that's not the best idea. So basically, in order to do this strategy, we're going to be coming from launch at this angle, and we're going to be breaking this right here turret and this right here turret, which you'll see in the next video. So this video takes off with me picking the second SAM turret, the one on top of the warehouse, because before this I had already picked the one on the ground, yet I was too dumb to start recording then for the cohesion, so I'm just going to start here. I'll show you the other one later. Anyway, so after picking this turret, what you want to make sure that you do, first off, is the way that SAM turrets work is they will only shoot a helicopter or a hot air balloon if it is above the top of the SAM turret, right? So you can hover a helicopter just below it and it won't shoot at you, which is what we use in this strategy. So the SAM turrets on top of launch site are elevated above the roof such that you can't break them with a tool, which is, you know, it solves one problem but it creates another. If you put your heli just under it and just above the bottom part of the roof, you can slide right in and loot it all just fine. The only problem being you have to take out these two on the ground, which is what you can see me doing now. If you don't want to go all the way to the roof and you can avoid that whole problem entirely because you're just not that good with helis or whatever, you can actually do it a different way by landing on any of the ledges on the outside of the building. There's plenty that you can see just by flying around it, and you can just put it down on any of those ledges and climb the rest of the way up yourself. But the way that I see this is so efficient is that you can go all the way to the top, loot the crates, and get all the way back down with no bandages, no water, you need nothing. You can get up there and back down in less than 60 seconds, which is the entire point of the video. So as you can see, we're breaking the turret, no big deal. You can see that one's smoking, and we're going to run back to the helicopter right quick. To which now you can also see the other SAM turret smoking on the right-hand side of the screen. And I'll look over to it. So there you go. You can see that's the turret that you have to kill. The first one I normally do since it's on the ground and easier to get to. Also, one thing that you should keep in mind is that you can tell if launch site's been looted or not by the SAM turrets. You see, since there's no TCs inside of launch for obvious reasons, the SAM turrets will decay on their own and will start smoking on their own, and they only respawn when the puzzle on launch respawns. So most of the time, if you get to the SAM turrets, they'll be kind of low health, if not already broken, simply because no one's looted launch in a while. However, if they're full health, that means that it's been looted quite recently, and if they're, and that's another way that you can tell when the loot respawns. So when you break those two SAM turrets and you go up to loot it, the loot will respawn, and when it does, those SAM turrets that you broke will not be smoking any longer, and you'll have to break them again. So it normally takes like one salvaged axe or pickaxe can break just about both. So it does take a decent bit of tools because this does stack up. Like, you're not just going to want to do this once. This is for farming your way through scrap and absolutely progressing to the higher tier BPs with nothing but a heli and some fuel. So it's very useful, but you have to have a lot of tools on hand. If you live near military tunnels, this won't be a problem because all the pickaxes or whatever, obviously. So yeah, you're about to see how I do this. That ledge right here in front of us you can land on and just walk right up launch, no problem. But again, by doing that, it's going to take like 4 to 5 minutes to get all the loot, whereas the way that I do it only takes about a minute because we're going straight to the top. So be very careful when you're coming up here. Make sure that you alt look around so that you can tell what the angle of your copter is, since the copters use only momentum to judge their flight path. So we're going to climb up really, really slowly, and I'm making sure here that the helicopter is aimed as straight up as I possibly can, except where I'm going and checking different angles. And when we get up near the top, which will be right about now, it's very, very difficult. You need to make sure that it's just the right height. So I pull back a little bit, and then right about when it gets the right height, I let go of W and I push forward. and then I hold control and S and we land. No big deal, right? And so now we get all the loot on launch. And it took us, 30, 40 seconds, not including the time it would have taken to break the SAM turrets, obviously. And as you can see, it's very profitable. This is on US East 1, actually, because my sad self got banned on Rustified for accidentally giving someone guest codes on my base because I didn't read the rules. Apparently, no matter how smart you are, you can still be stupid and not read rules like me. But yeah, so in 2 weeks I'll be back on Long 2, which is, where the boys always land, but for right now we're stuck on East 1 Hacker Land, Hacker Valley like the old days. But yeah, also I wanted to keep the video going just to be sure that you could see this one thing. Make sure that when you go off of launch, you don't go the way I'm about to go, because the SAM turret on the other side of the research building will actually shoot at you like it does here, and SAM sight's one shot. So I got very lucky and it whizzed right over our head, but just don't do this. You see, that is what we don't want to do. Anyway, this has been how to heli up on top of launch and get all the loot basically for free. It only costs about 50 fuel to get all the way up and back down and everything, assuming you know what you're doing. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. I should be the only one to make a video on this. That's fun, but yeah, I'll see you later.